This is a history of the Kirschenman family, primarily Ed and Wayne Kirschenman. Ed Kirschenman was born in Lodi, California in 1904. His dad grew wine grapes. Land prices dropped in half and the deal went bad after Prohibition. So in 1929 they moved to Shafter, California. In Shafter they grew Thompson seedless grapes for raisins, and Ed and his brother Emil also went to New York in the early 30s to sell grapes to make wine. In 1937, they decided to farm in Edison, approximately 50 miles east of Shafter. They were some of the first farmers in the area. There were lots of available ground and sagebrush. No canal water was available, so wells were drilled. Ed Kirschenman began farming potatoes and about 50 acres of cotton. This was also the same year that Wayne was born, 1937. Ed built a potato shed in Edison, and he later sold it and bought the current shed in 1958. Also, in 1948, Ed built current ice and cold storage with 5 others. This building is on Union Avenue and is still there today. Wayne began working on the farm in 1959. It was the first time he had ever worked for his dad. Wayne also married Jenny on July 5, 1959. In 1960, Ed became ill and Wayne began managing the farm at the age of 22. At that time, the Kirschenmans leased 240 acres from Mobil Oil Company and 240 acres from other companies, or approximately 480 acres total. The 1960s brought water from the mountains by canals. For the first time, there was a big breakthrough with water. Also, salesman Joe Phillips entered the picture and became a huge asset selling potatoes for the family farm. In the 1960s, potato farmers made good money. Ed sold potatoes for $537.50 per acre and considered that to be a lot of money. Until 1959, potatoes were dug by a potato digger, then picked by hand. Machine potato harvesting began in 1965 and really got going through much more mechanization around 1968. In the 1960s, potatoes grown were primarily white and red potatoes. The labels were Red Swan and Ed Snow White. In addition, 40 acres of oranges were also planted. Almonds have been grown on and off since 1967 to the present. Walnuts were planted in 1971 and were grown until 2016. Table grape production also began in 1971 with Flames. The Wayne's Flames label is one of the oldest family labels. Now, 13 different varieties of red, green, and black grapes are grown with numerous additional labels that are proudly grown and packed by the family. Grapes are bought and sold year-round all over the world to complement the season. The grape cold storage, purchased from the Eugene Nalbandian family in 2003, sits on DeGiorgio Road and has greatly expanded the grape operation. There are 800 to 1,000 acres of grapes. Organic grapes were also started in 2017 in trying to keep up with the times. Grapes, peaches, and nectarines are sold through a subsidiary, Kirschenman Fruit Sales, in Visalia. The family also has grapes and almonds in the Kingsburg area. Canning tomatoes also began with about 40 acres and are still being grown in rotation, some years in excess of 800 acres. The town of DiGiorgio, between Lamont and Arvin, was purchased in 1981 by the family. The main house was divided into 3 portions and donated to the California Living Museum, also known as CALM. CALM used these 3 buildings as their gift shop, offices, and lecture headquarters. The original buildings were moved on the back of huge flatbed trucks from DiGiorgio to the current CALM location near Hart Park. The actual town of DiGiorgio consisted of several houses, of which 21 were kept. There was also a volunteer fire department with its own fire engine and a post office. One of the buildings was the DeGiorgio Fruit Corporation's main office. It was not needed by the Kirschenmans to use this large office building, so it was turned into the Lamont Arvin Courthouse for 20 years. Then Lamont built their own courthouse, and the building later became offices that Grimway Farms still leases to this day. Jenny and Wayne built the mobile home park and named it Sunshine Properties, named for the Son of God, Jesus, to honor the Lord. Jenny did the books for many years. The park is now owned by Wayne and Jenny and their daughter and son-in-law, Laura and Mike Dixon. The Kirschenman family has also grown wine grapes for many years. For Bear Mountain Winery, then M. Lamont, now Heck Cellars, it's all the same winery, and wine grape production continues to this day. The late 1980s also brought watermelon production as well as peaches, nectarines, and apricots. They are still in production. In 1998, the Melonhead label was developed by Wade with 8 different labels. The most recent are the Tyler and Claire Melonhead labels. In 2015, Kirschenman started growing organic watermelons and has opened up a brand new market to the farm. For the past 40 years, the Kirschenmans have grown carrots in partnership with Bolthouse, Grimway, and Kern Ridge. Included in the farm production through the years were bell peppers, cherries, carrots, onions, hemp, cantaloupes, lemons, and wheat, and lettuce. A few years ago, the Kirschenmans teamed up with the Zuckerman family in the Stockton area. The Zuckermans have been farmers in the Stockton area for around 100 years, and the two companies created and bought the rights to plant a special potato variety they call the Bella Blanca. They are the only ones allowed to buy and sell this variety with exclusive rights in the western states. Including potatoes grown in Lamont Edison area, potatoes are also grown in the Palm Desert area, Arvin, and Stockton. Many varieties of reds, whites, and yellows are grown. Potatoes has been our main crop since the 1930s. There have been many changes since the beginning of farming in Kern County. The invention of the cell phone, the cost of everything has gone up. Regulations, especially government and labor costs and supply, has drastically increased. Water availability and drought concerns, politics that affect everything, COVID restrictions, etc. But on a positive note, the Kirschenman family has been farming since the 30s and hopes to continue for many generations in the future.
He don't punch no clock in the morning. He's up long before the break of dawn, and he's already turned the wheel on a hand-me-down tractor.
Yeah, this is we bring the grapes in here by truck. You saw the trucks being loaded. Then they're gassed. We got gassing chambers out there. And then they're gassed. And then we bring them in here for cooling. Yeah, these are all cold in this one. Yeah. They're all what?
Sold?
No,
No.
not necessarily.
So, that's the goal. So are any of these in here your labels?
Yeah.
Besides the Rooster's Pride? What
Bud
other
Par,
ones are yours? Okay,
large.
Bud Par. Okay.
These are our Thompson. These are going to. This is our label to our box to go to Costco. This is a Costco box because it has.
Oh, okay.
Has
I think I recognize this.
well, See, it has clamshells. You can't see it. See the clamshells in here? That's on the greens, and then this is the clamshells on the reds. And there's only about 150 cutters in California that have the skills to cut watermelons. Yeah. And because of their skills, they make $400 to $500 a day. Maybe not always that much, but on good days they'll make that. And it's because of their skill of being able to pick out the right melon.
That's why God made a farmer to keep us between the rows, to work hard, love harder, and you'll reap what you sow. So when you say grace for the food on your plate, pray a little longer, 'cause that's why God made a farmer. Yeah, when I say grace for the food on my plate, I pray a little longer.
Every day is a new day. The markets are very volatile. The markets change very fast, much faster than the stock market, up and down in volume. When the market was getting short, we were raising the market about 5% per day. And then when it gets long, it can go down 5% a day. So the market's very fluid. Again, it's much more fluid than the stock market, so it's pretty exciting if you're doing well on it. It's always a challenge though with growing the crop the right way, and the water's a problem, and getting good workers, and there's a lot to it. So it's getting very much a challenge. So anyway, this is a skateboarder, and we have a muscle man that's on the box, and we have some other labels too that we can show you, and so we kind of have fun with them. A lot of the consumers, they say they like the stickers, they like the labels, so.
I guess it's a picture at the watermelon shed of my son and I.
Another prayer. He says, Lord, I never complain, I never ask why. Please don't let my dreams run dry. Underneath this Amarillo sky. That hailstorm back in '83 sure did take a toll on his family. But he stayed strong and carried on, just like his dad and granddad did before him. On his knees every night he prays, please let my crops and children grow, 'cause that's all he's ever known. He just takes the tractor.
So many people have said how nice that Wade is coming along so Wayne can retire, but that's not the case, because there's more to do than the two of them can do, let alone one person handling it all. We have very good people that work with us, Patrick, that have, many of them, been with us for many, many years. And it's a farming family.
And he takes a tractor another round, another round, another round. And he takes a tractor another round, another round. He says, I never complain, I never ask why. Please don't let my dreams run dry. Underneath this.
That was Grandpa Ed's Snow White Potatoes. Sales by Joe Phillips. And that was in the beginning. We had just the white potatoes, and they were the best. And they still are. And this picture shows the devastation that came from the big dust storm that uprooted many acres of trees and tore things out. Carrie, you remember that dust storm?
Yes, I do.
This is what happened to the shed. It was destroyed. And we were supposed to go to the Sound of Music ski resort in Vermont for New Year's, Christmas, and we canceled everything. Dad wanted us to still go, but that wasn't what we wanted. We wanted to stay because he couldn't leave with everything destroyed. So we never did get there. But it was a good thought. And this is probably the best picture. This is Grandma Frida and Grandpa Ed. And that was in 1937. And that was the first water coming in to start farming on what had been desert land before. This is a good shot. This is a commercial that a friend of mine in New York sent the picture of. And it shows, this was from the, let me see, I guess it was the Buick, no, Oldsmobile Company. And all the people lined up here are either Kirschenmans or associates of the Kirschenmans, and everybody drove an Oldsmobile. And this little boy right here is Grandpa, is Papa.
Underneath this Amarillo sky, and he takes a tractor another round, and he takes a tractor another round,